God goes with me wherever I go. My Creator goes with me wherever I go. Thanks a lot. This is David. Welcome. Let's look at this lesson. Today's idea will eventually overcome completely the sense of loneliness and abandonment all the separated ones experience. Depression is an inevitable consequence of separation. So are anxiety, worry, a deep sense of helplessness, misery, suffering, and intense fear of loss. In other words, all the negative, disempowering, bad feelings, let's call them bad, but it's lack of a better word, darkness, let's suppose we use that word. All that has only one root. Only one. The belief in separation. Buying into the illusion of separation. The separated ones have invented many cures, in quotes, for what they believe to be, in quotes, the ills of the world. But the one thing they do not do is to question the reality of the problem. See, that's the most important part. Most of us are not usually consciously awake enough to separate perception, what we perceive, from reality. In fact, we don't even see reality. We don't even think there is a reality that is separate from what we perceive. We believe that what we perceive is what is real. Yet the eye only sees what the mind is, prepared to accept. Do you see the little chicken and egg story going on over there, the trap? You literally see what you believe, but the problem is your belief is so held in separation that you don't even question the reality of what you perceive. So instead of questioning the reality of the problem, we jump ahead and assume that the problem is real, and then we look for cures for this problem. Okay, so let's read on. Yet its effects cannot be cured because the problem is not real. So the cause here is saying, just forget about looking for the cures, because you cannot cure the problem because the problem is not real. That's the problem. So the idea for today has the power to end all this foolishness forever. And what's the idea today? The Creator goes with me wherever I go. My Creator, my source, my God goes with me wherever I go. So that's the idea that has the power to end all this foolishness. And foolishness it is, despite the serious and tragic forms it may take. This is kind of funny because I'm reading this like about a week and a few days after the I don't know whether you saw this, but I'm from Kenya, as you might know, and we just had an attack in one of the malls in our capital city, Nairobi, a mall called Westgate. So what the cause is saying is that despite the seriousness and tragic forms that it may take, like despite Westgate, despite 9/11, all that sort of stuff, it is foolishness. The problem does not exist, so stop trying to find a cure for the problem. Instead, recognize that it does not exist. Deep within you is everything that is perfect, ready to radiate through you and out into the world. It will cure all sorrow and pain and fear and loss because it will heal the mind that thought these things were real and suffered out of its allegiance to them. Let's read that again. It will cure all sorrow and pain and fear and loss because it will heal the mind. Do you see the solution? Heal the mind. What is it healing the mind from? The thought that these things were real. That is the main problem. It is not the things themselves that are a problem. It is the idea that those problems are real. That's the problem. And suffered, this is important, out of its allegiance to them. In other words, the mind suffers, or the person suffers, because of the allegiance, of the belief that the problem is real. Do you see? You can never be deprived of your perfect holiness because its source goes with you wherever you go. So that's the first step of the solution of today's idea. that you can never lose that capability because you're always where it is. In other words, wherever you go, the source goes with you, your creator goes with you, your God goes with you. Wherever you go, always 24/7, 365. There's not a nanosecond where you're separated. Do you understand that you are not separated? Separation is an illusion. You are never separated from your source. It's not possible to be separated. So that's the first step. Second, you can never suffer because the source of all joy goes with you wherever you go. So this is a quick small extension of the first idea, that suffering cannot really be true because the source of all joy is with you, is you. You can never be alone because the source of all life goes with you wherever you go. Do you see that? Alone is not possible because the source of all life, remember, alone means you're disconnected from all life, yet the source of all life goes with you wherever you go. Nothing can destroy your peace of mind because God goes with you wherever you go. Are you seeing the logic behind this? If we want to call it logic, it's not really logic, but it's more like fact. But okay, I'm not forcing a belief on you, but are you seeing the train of thought? Let's use that word in this. It's amazing, isn't it? We understand that you do not believe all this. We understand that you do not believe all this. How could you then, when the truth is hidden deep within, under a heavy cloud of insane thoughts, dense and obscuring, yet representing all you see? Let me just read that again because I also lost my train of thought on that sentence. How could you, when the truth is hidden deep within, under a heavy cloud of insane thoughts, dense and obscuring, yet representing all you see? Yeah, how could you believe all this when you have such a heavy obstruction? Today we will make our first real attempt to get past this dark and heavy cloud and to go through it to the light beyond. Wow. It is quite possible to reach God. In fact, it is very easy because it is the most natural thing in the world. You might even say it is the only natural thing in the world. Wow, the one thing that we think difficult is the one thing that is natural and easy. Isn't it funny? Let's just stop here. Isn't it funny how the ego twists everything around? Many people in the world think that reaching their creator is difficult and unnatural, or they call it supernatural. Yet the Course is saying that's the ego's trick. It's tricking you. In fact, the only natural thing in the world is you reaching God. In fact, it is very easy. So you see, the Course is always showing us the upside down of what the ego is showing us. Okay, let's read on. The way will open if you believe that it is possible. This exercise can bring very startling results even the first time it is attempted, and sooner or later it is always successful, but it will never fail completely. And instant success is possible. Wow, that's cool. So that's my discussion on that one. As always, the rest of the exercise, the actual exercise is found below this video. So please go ahead and do that exercise yourself. And thank you very much. See you in the next lesson.